When I was a little girl, I used to dream about my wedding day. I pictured the white dress, a venue with fairy lights strung from every corner, my dad walking me down the aisle, and my mom crying with joy in the front row. But what I didn't imagine was the betrayal, the lies, and the twist that turned my dream into something no one saw coming. Let me start from the beginning. My fiancé, Aaron, and I had been dating for 5 years. We met in college, stuck through long-distance jobs, and finally settled in the same city about a year ago. He proposed to me on a quiet beach during a weekend trip, and I said yes instantly. We didn't come from wealthy families. We had some savings, but we were counting on the wedding fund my parents had always promised me. It wasn't a vague promise either. My mom had specifically told me she had been putting aside money for my big day ever since I was in high school. I remember her saying, "When your day comes, I want you to have the wedding you deserve. You're my firstborn, and I've been saving for this." So when Aaron and I got engaged, I scheduled a brunch with my parents, all excited to talk about planning. We were sitting on the patio, coffee mugs in hand, and I gently brought it up. "Mom, remember how you said you were saving for my wedding?" I wanted to see how much of a budget we'd have to work with before I started looking at venues. Her expression changed. Not guilty. Not apologetic. Just blank. Then she said, "About that. We had to use that money for something else." I blinked. "What do you mean?" I asked, still trying to stay calm. She looked at my dad, who avoided my eyes. "It was an emergency," she said. "Your sister needed help. You know how hard things have been for her." I sat there stunned. "You gave my wedding fund to Sophie?" She nodded, like it was the most reasonable thing in the world. "She needed help with the down payment on her new house. She and Nate are trying to start a family. It was now or never." I stared at them in disbelief. Sophie, my younger sister, had always been the golden child. Every time she got into trouble, my parents bailed her out: credit card debt, quitting jobs, failed relationships. And now, apparently, they were gifting her my future too. "Why didn't you at least talk to me about it?" I asked, my voice shaking. "We knew you'd be upset," my mom said, "but we figured you'd understand eventually. You have Aaron. You're doing fine." I couldn't speak. I just got up and left. Aaron held me while I cried that night. "I know this hurts," he said gently. "But we'll figure it out. We'll make something beautiful, even if it's small." And that's when I decided. If they thought I'd be okay with being cast aside, they were wrong. I wasn't going to beg or fight over the money. I was going to give them a wedding they'd never forget. But not in the way they expected. 3 months later, I sent out my wedding invitations. It was a small guest list, just 40 people. Close friends, some cousins, a few coworkers, and Aaron's family. My parents and Sophie were not invited. I didn't even tell them the date. I posted nothing about it online. I went completely silent. We found a beautiful botanical garden on the edge of town. Aaron's parents graciously helped with some of the costs, and we cut back on everything: DIY flowers, a rented dress, local catering. It wasn't fancy, but it was us. And it was perfect. The night before the wedding, I got a message from my mom. "Hey, haven't heard any updates about the wedding? Are we still invited?" I didn't reply. An hour later, another one came. "Why is your cousin Elise saying you're getting married tomorrow? What's going on?" I turned off my phone. We got married under a canopy of twinkling lights, with tears in our eyes and laughter in our hearts. There was no drama. No tension. Just love. After the ceremony, during the reception, I gave a short toast. "I want to thank everyone here for supporting us, not just today, but through everything. You're the people who showed up. You're the ones who never made us feel like we were second choice. This day is for you, as much as it's for us." There wasn't a dry eye in the room. The next day, I posted a single photo on Instagram. It was me and Aaron walking hand in hand through the garden, captioned, married, loved, and finally at peace. That's when all hell broke loose. My phone exploded. My mom left 5 voicemails in a row. Sophie sent me a long, furious message about how I was cruel and attention-seeking. Even my dad texted, "I wish you'd let us be there. We would have made it work." But I didn't reply to any of them. Instead, I mailed them a letter. This wedding wasn't about money. It was about feeling supported and loved. And when I needed you, you showed me exactly where I stood. So I created a day filled with people who see me, respect me, and care enough to show up. I hope Sophie enjoys her house. I built a home with people who never made me feel like a backup plan. They didn't respond. But a few weeks later, I heard from my aunt. My mom was telling everyone I blindsided them. I let her talk. I didn't argue, didn't defend myself. Because the people who mattered already knew the truth. It's been a year since that day, and I have no regrets. I built boundaries, not walls. I'm not closed off. But I'm done letting guilt guide my relationships. My wedding day was everything I needed it to be: honest, joyful, and healing. And the best part? Aaron and I look back on it with pride, not pain. Sometimes, the most unforgettable weddings aren't about grand gestures. They're about finally realizing who you are, and who truly shows up for you. And for my mom? Well, she gave away my wedding fund. So I gave her a wedding she'll never forget. But she'll have to remember it through pictures, because she wasn't there.